The bus driver looked at me through the mirror and said, "Kid, don't get off at your stop today. Call your mom right now." It was the kind of morning that already felt wrong before anything even happened. The sky was a dull gray, the kind that looked heavy enough to fall right on top of our little town. Fog curled around the old wooden fences along Hollow Creek Road, and the bus's headlights cut through it like twin knives. I remember watching the reflection of the bus's interior shimmer in the window beside me. It was warm in there, too warm, and smelled faintly of wet coats and diesel. Everyone else was half asleep, slumped in their usual seats, earbuds in, backpacks sprawled across the aisle. Just another autumn morning in Redvale. Or so I thought. When Mr. Bax glanced at me through the wide rectangular mirror that hung above his head, I didn't think much of it at first. He was always quiet, the kind of bus driver who treated talking like it cost him money. But that morning, there was something strange in his eyes. He kept looking at me, not in a scolding way, but like he was deciding something. Then he said it. "Kid, don't get off at your stop today. Call your mom right now." His voice wasn't loud, but it sliced through the usual bus chatter like a blade. For a few seconds, nobody reacted. I thought maybe he was talking to someone else, maybe into his radio. But then his eyes met mine again in the mirror, and I realized he meant me. "What?" I pulled my earbuds out. The bus rolled to a slow stop. Not at any regular stop, just in the middle of Hollow Creek Road, where the trees crowded close to the pavement, and the mist hung thick. The engine hummed beneath our feet. Mr. Bax's knuckles were pale against the steering wheel. "Just call her," he said. "Right now." Something in his voice made my stomach twist. It wasn't panic, not exactly. It was restraint. Like he was holding back panic, trying not to let it spill out. I fumbled for my phone. Around me, a couple of kids started groaning. "Why are we stopping? Come on, we're going to be late." Nobody ever talked to Mr. Bax like that usually, but he didn't even glance at them. His gaze was fixed on the long mirror again, angled toward the back of the bus, then to his side mirror. I followed his line of sight and froze. A car sat behind us on the road. Black. Still. Its headlights were off, though the morning fog was thick enough to swallow it whole. At first I thought it was just someone waiting to pass, but it didn't move, didn't even twitch. I hit "Call Mom." The line rang once, twice, then voicemail. "Hi, you've reached..." I hung up. Tried again. Voicemail. "She's not answering," I said quietly. I could hear my own heartbeat now, faint under the rumble of the bus's idling engine. Mr. Bax's jaw tightened. Try your dad, or anyone. That was when I knew something was actually wrong. Bus drivers didn't care who your parents were. They just drove. I dialed Dad. Voicemail. Behind us, the black sedan still hadn't moved. The fog drifted around its edges like smoke, but I could make out the faint silhouette of someone in the driver's seat. Still. Watching. Mr. Bax reached for the radio mounted on the dashboard. "Base, this is Bus 47, he said, voice low. "I need assistance at Hollow Creek and 5th. Possible, suspicious vehicle following the route." The radio crackled, a woman's voice coming through, calm but distorted. "Copy that, 47. What's the nature of the situation?" He hesitated. "Unknown. Just send someone." The other kids had gone quiet now. Even Jace, who usually threw paper balls and yelled jokes from the back, had stopped talking. All we could hear was the soft hum of the bus and the hiss of fog brushing against the windows. I leaned toward the aisle. "Mr. Bax, what's going on?" He looked up, meeting my reflection again. His eyes were sharp, alert, but there was fear hiding deep inside them. "When I tell you," he said, "I want you to get down. Below the window level, understand?" My throat went dry. "Why? Are we—" Before I could finish, the black sedan began to move. It rolled forward slowly, tires crunching wet gravel, pulling alongside the bus. Even through the tinted glass, I could feel eyes on me, like a physical pressure against my skin. "Everyone sit down," Mr. Bax said, voice suddenly firm. "Keep your heads down and stay quiet." The air inside the bus changed. It felt heavier somehow, electric. I crouched low against the seat back, heart hammering. The sedan kept perfect pace with us as we started moving again, just inches away from my window. I glanced sideways once and instantly wished I hadn't. Behind the dark glass, a faint outline. A face, maybe moved, not waving, not reacting, just watching. The road curved past the old mill, and the car stayed with us. Every turn, every stop sign, it never drifted away. Then my phone buzzed. "Mom." I answered so fast my hand shook. "Mom? Kip?" Her voice was trembling, like she'd been crying. "Where are you right now?" "On the bus. We're almost—" "Listen to me!" Her words came out too quickly, overlapping each other. "Don't come home today. Do you understand me? Go to Aunt Pip's house instead. Stay there until I come." "Why?" "What's—" In the background, I heard something voices. Men's voices, low and harsh, too far away to make out words. Then a door slamming. "Mom, what's happening?" Her breath hitched. "Just trust me, baby. Don't come home." The call dropped. For a moment, all I could do was stare at my reflection in the black screen of my phone. My mouth had gone dry. Mr. Bax was already watching me. "What did she say?" I told him, stumbling over the words. He nodded once, slow. "Then we're changing plans." He reached down, flicked the turn signal, and the bus groaned as it veered off the usual route. No one on the bus spoke. All you could hear was the squeal of wet tires and the soft whisper of rain beginning to fall. The road Mr. Bax turned onto wasn't part of our usual route. It wound through the edge of town, where the houses were spaced farther apart, and the trees leaned close enough to scrape their branches against the roof when the wind blew. Every turn of the tires sounded too loud in the still air. Nobody on the bus said a word. Even the sixth graders in the back, the ones who usually couldn't keep quiet for 5 seconds, were silent. Everyone could feel it. Something wasn't right. I kept glancing out the window. The fog was thicker now, crawling between the trees like smoke from an unseen fire. Every few seconds, a shape would shift out there. A mailbox, a tree trunk, and I'd swear it was a person. My phone sat in my lap, useless. No signal. Of course. Behind me, I heard Jace whisper, "Is this like a drill or something?" No one answered. When we reached the old bridge over Hollow Creek, Mr. Bax slowed the bus and checked the side mirror again. I followed his gaze. The black sedan was still there. Same distance, same speed, like it was tied to us by an invisible rope. Then I noticed something else. Another pair of headlights appeared farther back in the fog. They flickered once, then steadied, too high off the ground to be a car. A truck, maybe. But it was following the same path. Mr. Bax's voice broke the silence. "All right, everyone. We're going to take a short detour, okay? We'll be at the station soon." His tone was calm, too calm, like he was forcing every word through a tight throat. The bus rattled over the bridge, the sound echoing beneath us. I looked down through the gaps in the planks and saw the creek rushing brown and fast below. For a second, I thought about what it would feel like if the bus just slid off. The thought scared me more than the car behind us. We turned past the gas station that had been closed since last winter, its sign still hanging crooked with half the letters missing. Beyond it, the road split one way toward town, the other toward the woods. Mr. Bax chose the woods. "Wait," I started, but he cut me off with a quiet shake of his head. "Trust me, kid. They won't follow us far in there." But they did. When the bus's wheels hit the dirt road, the black sedan turned right after us. The second set of headlights followed too. The forest swallowed us whole. Trees pressed in on both sides, the branches clawing at the windows as the bus groaned up the incline. The rain came harder now, tapping a nervous rhythm on the metal roof. I could feel the other kids watching me, like somehow this was my fault. Like I'd brought this with me. But I didn't know what this even was. Mr. Bax kept one hand tight on the wheel, the other near the small radio at his side. He pressed the button again. "Base, this is Bus 47. We're on the old logging road off Hollow Creek. I have 2 vehicles trailing. Repeat. 2. Static. Nothing but static." He let go of the button slowly, exhaled, and muttered something under his breath I couldn't hear. The bus lurched suddenly, hitting a deep pothole that made everyone jump. Someone in the back started crying, quiet, muffled sobs. A few of the older kids tried to whisper reassurances, but even they sounded unsure. "Why don't we just stop?" I asked. "If they're following us, shouldn't we just—" "No," he said quickly. "We don't stop until we're safe." His words made the air feel colder somehow. Safe. He said it like it was a place you could actually reach. The sedan was closer now. Through the fog and rain, I could see the water beading on its black hood, the gleam of its chrome grille. The tinted windows were still opaque, but just once, I thought I saw a flicker of movement inside, a pale shape, like a hand pressed briefly against the glass. The second vehicle drew nearer too, its headlights bouncing wildly with the bumps in the road. When it hit a puddle, a sheet of muddy water splashed across our back window, blinding us for a second. By the time it cleared, both cars had pulled in even tighter behind us. "Mr. Bax?" He didn't answer. I felt the bus pick up speed, the engine growling low. Branches whipped against the sides, screeching across the yellow paint. The road narrowed ahead, 2 muddy ruts bordered by steep ditches. Someone shouted, "I can't see!" The windows were fogging up, the air thick with our breath. It felt like the whole bus was sweating. Then, through the noise, the radio crackled alive again. A faint voice. "Bus 47, do you copy?" Mr. Bax snatched the receiver. "This is 47. We have a situation, 2 vehicles in pursuit, unknown occupants, requesting immediate—" The voice cut out. Then came another sound, a loud pop, followed by a metallic thud from behind us. The whole bus jolted sideways. Kids screamed. The back end fishtailed for a moment before Mr. Bax wrestled it straight again. "Hang on," he yelled. I twisted around. The black sedan had clipped our bumper deliberately. It swerved slightly, then corrected, keeping pace. Another pop. Another jolt. This time, something cracked. A back window. Spiderwebbing with white fractures. "Why are they doing this?" I shouted. But no one answered. We burst out of the trees into an open stretch of road. The rain blurred everything, the fields, the fences, the faint lights of town far ahead. For a moment I thought we might make it. Then, from the left, the second vehicle. An old pickup swung out and pulled alongside us. Its windows were rolled down despite the rain. Through the downpour, I saw a figure in the driver's seat. A man wearing a dark cap, face shadowed. He looked at me. Just looked. Then he reached for something on the seat beside him. "Get down," Mr. Bax shouted. The bus swerved violently, throwing us all against the windows. Something thudded against the side panel metal on metal, but it didn't break through. I hit the floor, clutching the seat leg so hard my fingers hurt. "Are they shooting?" someone screamed. "No," Mr. Bax barked, but I didn't believe him. The bus roared down the muddy road, the wipers beating furiously. The pickup fell back for a second, then rammed forward again, clipping the rear corner. The sound was deafening, a grinding crash that sent sparks skittering off the pavement. Ahead, the lights of the main road glowed faintly through the rain. The highway. Civilization. Safety, or what passed for it. Mr. Bax leaned forward, eyes narrowed. "We make it to the station," he muttered, half to himself. "Just a mile more." I risked a glance behind us. The sedan was still there, steady as ever, its headlights bright now, almost blinding. Behind its glass, the driver's shape didn't move, not once. Just that pale outline, watching. The bus engine strained. The speedometer needle trembled near 50 way too fast for the slick road. Every curve felt like it might be the one to send us rolling into the ditch. Then something strange happened. The headlights behind us flickered once, twice. Then both vehicles slowed down at the same time, like they'd reached some invisible line they couldn't cross. Mr. Bax noticed too. He glanced in the mirror, then exhaled shakily. "They're stopping," I whispered. "Why?" "I don't know," he said, "but I'm not waiting to find out." He pressed harder on the accelerator. The bus shot forward, tires spitting mud. Within minutes, the glow of the police station came into view. A squat brick building beside the post office, its blue light spinning slow and steady in the rain. When we finally rolled to a stop under the overhang, no one moved for a long moment. The silence was unreal. Then, slowly, the door hissed open. A police officer ran out, coat flapping, hand on his radio. "What happened?" he shouted over the rain. "Mr. Bax stood up, his legs shaking slightly. He didn't answer right away. He just looked at me, then back toward the dark road behind us, where no headlights glowed anymore. "They were following us," he said finally. "2 cars. Been on us since Cedar Lane." The officer frowned. "Anyone hurt?" "No, just scared." The cop nodded and gestured toward the building. "Let's get everyone inside." As we stepped down from the bus one by one, the rain cooled my face, grounding me back in reality. The air smelled like wet asphalt and pine. I turned for one last look at the road. Empty. The fog had swallowed everything again. Mr. Bax came up beside me, resting a hand on my shoulder. "You did good, kid," he said quietly. "Your mom's smart. Whatever's going on, we'll get you to her soon." But deep down, I wasn't sure we ever would. The police station felt too quiet after everything that had happened. The lights buzzed faintly overhead, washing the narrow hallway in a pale yellow glow. Rainwater dripped from our jackets onto the tile floor, forming small, dark puddles that nobody bothered to clean. They herded all of us, 15 kids, and Mr. Bax, into a small waiting area that smelled faintly of coffee and paper. Someone had left a half-empty cup on the counter. The steam had already stopped rising. One officer, a tall man with deep lines around his eyes, asked questions in a calm, practiced voice. "Did anyone recognize the vehicles?" "No." "Did you see license plates?" "No." "Any weapons?" We all looked at each other. No one could say for sure. I sat on the edge of a plastic chair near the window, watching the rain trickle down the glass. Outside, the fog pressed against the streetlights like cotton. It didn't look real anymore, like the world outside had folded in on itself. Mr. Bax stood near the front desk, talking quietly with the police chief. He kept glancing back at me, his brow furrowed. When he noticed me looking, he gave a small nod, like he wanted to reassure me. It didn't help. A few of the younger kids were crying now, their parents already on the way. The rest of us just sat there, trying not to think about what could have happened if the bus had slid off the road, or if those cars hadn't stopped. My phone vibrated in my hand. Mom. For a second, relief hit me so hard I almost smiled. I swiped to answer. Mom? Kip, sweetheart, are you safe? Her voice was trembling again, but softer this time. I'm at the police station, I said quickly. They followed the bus. 2 cars. Mr. Bax, he said. I know, she cut in. I know, baby. I'm so sorry. Listen to me, all right? You need to stay there. Don't leave with anyone until I get there. Okay, I said, nodding, though she couldn't see me. Mom, what's happening? Who are they? There was a pause. Then, I'll explain when I see you. Just stay inside. Promise me. I promise. The line went silent for a moment. Then she whispered, I love you, and hung up. I sat there staring at my phone for a long time, the words echoing in my head. Something about her voice felt different this time. Strained, like she was forcing calm through fear. When I looked up, Officer Benton, the tall one, was standing beside me. That your mom? I nodded. Good. She called the station earlier, he said. She's on her way here now. Shouldn't be more than 20 minutes. I felt a small wave of relief wash over me. Finally. It was almost over. The officers started sending the other kids home one by one as their parents arrived. Each goodbye made the room quieter, emptier. By the time the wall clock read 7:42, only I and Mr. Bax were left. He was pacing near the vending machine, rubbing his temples. You okay? I asked. He gave a tired smile. I've been better. You holding up? I nodded, though my stomach still felt like it was tied in knots. The front door creaked open then, letting in a rush of cold air and the scent of rain. A woman stepped inside, hood up, dripping coat, face shadowed. Kip, she said softly. Her voice was low, familiar. Mom. I stood up, but something was off. The way she moved, too careful, almost rehearsed. The way her hand stayed tucked in her pocket. Officer Benton stepped forward. Ma'am, can I see? She raised her head slightly, revealing a pale face streaked with rain, eyes glinting in the dim light. It's all right, she said quickly. He's my son. The officer hesitated. You're Mrs. Holloway? Yes. Her voice didn't shake this time. It was firm. Steady. Too steady. Benton nodded slowly, then looked at me. You're good to go, kid. I should have felt relief, but my gut twisted. Mr. Bax frowned, watching her closely. Something in his expression changed, like he'd just realized something terrible. He stepped between me and the woman. Hold on, he said. Mrs. Holloway, you called me last month about the route changes, right? You drive a blue station wagon? She blinked. What? The wagon, he repeated. You said it was breaking down, so you needed him dropped closer to... I don't remember that, she said. Her voice slipped. Just a little. Enough for everyone in the room to feel it. Benton's hand drifted toward his belt. Ma'am, he said carefully. Could I see some ID, please? For a moment, no one breathed. Then she smiled. It wasn't warm. It was thin and wrong. I left it in the car, she said. Her hand moved fast. Something glinted in the dim light, small and metallic. Not a gun, a key fob. She pressed it. Outside, the sound of an engine roared to life. Headlights flooded the station windows. Black, tinted, too bright. The sedan. Bax grabbed my arm and shoved me behind him. Get down! The front glass shattered inward as the sedan slammed into the entrance, sending shards across the floor. Screams, shouts, the smell of gasoline. Benton drew his weapon, yelling for backup. The fake mom darted toward the back door, her coat flaring out behind her. Bax tried to stop her, but she was too fast. She disappeared into the rain. Outside, the black car revved once, then peeled backward, tires screaming against wet asphalt. By the time the other officers reached the entrance, it was gone. All that was left was broken glass and the echo of my heartbeat in my ears. I could barely breathe. She looked like my mom, I whispered. She even sounded like her. Bax knelt beside me, his face pale. That wasn't her, kid. You hear me? Whoever that was, she wasn't your mom. But how did she know? He shook his head. I don't know. But we'll find out. The real Mrs. Holloway arrived 30 minutes later. Her car, a dented blue wagon, skidded into the lot, headlights flashing across the broken glass. When she saw me, she ran. And when she held me, I knew instantly. This was her. Her heartbeat was real. Her hands were shaking. The officers took her aside, asking questions, but she could barely speak. She just kept saying, they were watching the house. I saw them. I didn't know what to do. When we finally left the station, dawn was breaking over the trees. The rain had stopped, but fog still clung to the streets, soft and white. Mr. Bax stood beside the bus, arms crossed, watching the horizon. As Mom and I walked past him, he said quietly, "Stay off that route for a while." Mom nodded without looking up. We both knew he was right.